Hi guys, I hope you are doing well. In today's session, we are going to discuss very amazing LLM model launched recently by Anthropic, which is Claude 3.5 Sonnet. And guys, really this model basically for graduate level reasoning, undergraduate level of knowledge and coding proficiency. And guys, Claude is very suitable for reasoning abilities, coding proficiency, visual understanding, multi-model capabilities, and really it is very powerful for coding automation, document analysis and visual task, etc. In today's session, I will let you know how you can set up this particular LLM model in your VS Code, and I will let you know how you can get the API key. Apart from this, we will be create a SQLite database, and for that database, we will be develop a particular application by which we can interact that application. And guys, apart from this, we will be discuss how we can interact with images with the help of this LLM models. All right, so let's dive into it. So guys, this is the official web page from Anthropic, which is Claude 3.5 Sonnet, and it is launched on 21st of June, right? So you can see here, we are launching the Claude 3.5 Sonnet, our first release in the forthcoming Claude 3.5 model family. And guys, you can see here the price per million tokens, and it was just predecessor. Now this is the latest one. And guys, as I just mentioned, Claude 3.5 Sonnet sets a new industry benchmark for graduate level reasoning and undergraduate level knowledge and coding proficiency. So you can read this documentation from this particular page. I will provide this particular link in the description below. And you can see here the Claude 3.5 is the superior among for these other LLM models. All right. And now you can click on try on Claude.ai. You can register with yourself with the help of your personal email ID. And here, right? So you can ask, write anything. So simple, let's say, can you make a Python car racing game? So guys, simple, right? So it is writing the code very efficiently. Now let's try this. And here I am going to create a game.py. Now let me paste this. And now let me install this particular library, which is PyGame. So simple pip install PyGame. So guys, it's done. Now let me run this. So simple Python game.py. So guys, you can see here, right? So this is the very basic games. Okay. It means it is working fine, right? Interesting. All right. So you can try a lot of things in terms of code generation, your documentation analysis, or your image analysis. So now let me tell you how you can get the API key from this particular LLM models. So guys, simple, you can click here the API and again, start building. And you can continue with your email ID. And once you log in successfully, you will have these kind of information. Start prompting with Claude, generate a prompt, and so many things, right? So we won't get API key. So guys, I have already get the API key. Right now, let's say I can, delete the API key. And similarly, you can create another API key. And that API key you can use in your VS Code, or maybe if you want to interact with this LLM models. All right. So now I have already saved my API key in my .environment file. Okay, so this is very simple to get the API key. Now we will be try to interact with this LLM model with the help of the API key. All right. So guys, what I'm doing here, let me delete this. And guys, I have created a db.py file where I am going to create a SQLite database and its table. So first of all, I have import the SQLite and I'm going to create a brand new database that is called example.db. And here I am going to create a three tables, which is students, course, and enrollments. If these particular tables are already exist in your database, I want to delete them before creating a new one. And here I am going to create a brand new tables. So it is very easy to create the tables in SQLite. Similarly, I am going to create a course tables and enrollment tables. And here I am going to create a foreign key with student ID. okay, with the student tables, and the course ID is also foreign key for the course tables. All right. And similarly, I am going to inserting the data of respective table. So first of all, this data I want to insert in the student table, and this data I want to import in the course table. And apart from this, I want to import this data on enrollment. And now let me run this particular script. So guys, simple Python db.py. Now you can see here, I have created a particular database that is called example.db, where I have enrollment, course, and student tables. Interesting. And guys, if you are really interested to view the data, so let me do one thing. Let me install the extension for SQLite. So simple SQLite viewer, let me install this. So it's done. Now let me open this example.db. So guys, you can see here, this is the course where I have ID and the course name and the credits. And similarly, I have enrollments where I have student ID, course ID, and semester. And apart from that, I have a student table where I have a student ID, name, age, or major, right? So guys, this is the very basic data I am keeping in these three tables. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm going to create another file that is called app.py, where I will be set up my LLM models and I will be talk to this database. All right. So first of all, I am going to import the necessary libraries, OS, and I need SQLite 3 from dot environment. I'm going to import load environment. And guys, from Anthropic, I need to import Anthropic, right? And now let me load my environment. So guys, first of all, what I'm doing, I'm going to set up my API client. Okay, so simple client equal to Anthropic. And here I am going to provide my API key that is called os.get environment. And here my API key name. Interesting. And guys, here I am using a model name. Okay, so I am using a model name which is recently launched. This is Claude 3.5 and Sonnet. And guys, this is the particular date 2024 06 20. So this is the particular model name. All right. Now I am going to define a function to send a query to Claude and get the response. Easy. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to create a function and that is called ask Claude, and I will be pass my query, and apart from that, I will be provide my schema as well. Okay. So what kind of prompt I will be pass? So guys, simple. Here I'm using app string concept. Here is the schema for a database, and I am writing, some sensible information. So for an example, let's say, could you provide a SQL query based on this schema to address the inquiry? Okay, and please limit the response to the SQL query only. Okay, I don't need any kind of explanation. So simple, I need a SQL query. And here my questions and here my query. Simple. Now guys, I will be store my response. So client dot messages and create. So first of all, I am going to provide my model. So this is my model name. Okay. And here I am going to provide a max tokens. So max tokens for an example 2000. And here I am passing a message. I want to provide a role. Role, let's say, is a user. And content is prompt. Simple. And after that, I am going to return my response. So return response dot content, and the very first content I am going to return in the form of text. Interesting. So when I receive the prompt, right? So I am going to create another function to get the database schema from the SQLite. So def get db schema from the database. All right. I am going to set up a connection equal to SQLite connect with that DB. Okay. And here I am using a cursor. It's a very simple concept to connect with SQLite database. And now cursor dot execute. And guys, here select name from SQLite master where type equal to table. All right, guys. And here I am going to fetch my all the tables in my particular database. Let's say fetch all. And I am going to create a variable, let's say schema string. And right now I am going to create a blank schema. And whatever the tables I got on the table, I am going to apply the loop. Right now I have only 3 tables. So the table name equal to table of 0. Interesting. Now I am using a cursor dot execute. And guys, here I am using app string, and here I am using pragma. Okay, table info. And here table name. So what is the meaning of pragma? So guys, pragma is a special command in SQLite used to query or set database level, or you can say that connection level parameters. All right. Now let me provide here the semicolon. Okay. Now I want to find out the table info, whatever the table info I have. So cursor dot fetch all. And now schema str equal to, I am using here, let me use double quote, let's say create table, and now table name. Okay, guys. And here I am going to create a table, right? Using a concatenation or using a /n and all. And similarly, again, schema star, I can write in the form of list comprehension, but I'm going to breaking into the chunks so that everybody can understand. So /n, and here the join, and guys, column 1. Okay. And similarly, I'm going with column 2 for column in table info. Simple. All right. And again, schema star plus equal to /n, close the bracket, and again /n. Very simple concept. Okay. So guys, what does schema string here? So guys, this schema string can be used to inform the AI model about the structure of the database. All right. And it is enabling it to generate an accurate SQL query based on the natural language questions. Okay. I will be provide this schema star so my AI model can understand what kind of schema I have in my database. Okay. And based on that, it can generate a accurate SQL queries. Okay. And now I am going to close my connection. And here I am going to return my schema star. Simple. So guys, right now, let me provide a very basic question. So let's say question 1 equal to, for an example, find the number of students enrolled in each course. Okay. And now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to send this particular query to the Claude and get the SQL response. So simple SQL query equal to, I have defined my function and where I am going to pass my question. And guys, here we need to provide our schema. So here I am going to set the database schema. So simple schema str equal to get db, and here I'm going to provide my the db path, right? So simple example.db. All right. And here I'm passing that schema string. Interesting. And here I'm going to print my response. All right. So guys, this is very easy. Now let me run this. So simple Python app.py. All right. So let me load, right, dot environment. Simple. Now let me run once again. So guys, you can see. So here it is returning that particular query, right? So here the SQL query to find the number of students enroll in each course. If you want to print that schema as well, so now let me do one thing. So print defined schema string. So now let me print the schema star string. Now let me run once again. So guys, this is the particular schema of each table. You can see, okay? And here I have created the student tables, course table, enrollment tables, and based on that, it is generating a SQL query. So right now, what I am doing here, I am going to create a web interface using the Chainlit. All right. So guys, I am going to import the library that is called import Chainlit as, let's say, CL. Okay. So this is the very suitable library for web interface, just like a Streamlit. Now, no need to write this query here because we are going to create a web interface. So here, Chainlit UI. So guys, what I'm doing here, I'm going to create a decorator and I'm going to create a asynchronous main where I need a message and cl dot message. Okay. And what is the DB path here, right? I'm going to provide a path, let's say student dot DB. This is my database name. And here I need a schema string. So let me cut and paste here. Okay. And after that, I am going to provide a SQL query equal to ask, and here your message dot content and your schema str, schema string. Simple. And here dot message. And guys, I am going to provide a content in the form of app string. Okay, so simple generated SQL query slash n. All right, so SQL slash n, and here my SQL query, and again slash n. Easy. And here dot send. Okay, now there is no need of it. So guys, to create a web interface with the help of Chainlit is a very easy. So what I'm doing here, so guys, CL on message, this is nothing. This is the particular decorator which apply on the main function. And here I'm going to define asynchronous function. So which basically define a function named main that takes a parameter message of type cl.message. So this function will be called whenever a message event occur. Okay. Now let me save this and let me run this particular script with the help of Chainlit app, run app.py, and here I'm using -w. -w means in case if I'm going to change anything, automatically those changes automatically synchronize on your web UI. Now let me run this. Okay, spelling is wrong. Chainlit Simple. So guys, it is loading the environment. Now it will create a local host for you. Easy. And now here you can interact with your SQL database. In case you want to give some sensible title, or maybe you want to design this web UI accordingly, and you can use it accordingly. All right. So now let me ask the query. So write a SQL query to find the average age of students in each major. So guys, you can see that how it is fast, right? So similarly, let me ask another query. Write a SQL query to find courses with more than one student enrolled. Look at this, right? Insane. Similarly, write a SQL statement to find all students enroll in and fall 2023. Interesting. And very basic query, let me ask, can you give me the schema of the students and enrollments? Simple. So guys, right? So very, very interesting. Okay. And now let me ask one more query. Write a SQL query to join students and enrollments to find which students are enrolled in which course. Simple. Okay, that's fine. So look at this, right? Very, very interesting. So guys, this Claude is literally very fast as compared of ChatGPT, okay, and Llama 3, or you can say that Gemini Pro. All right. So guys, this is very easy to use with Chainlit Web UI. Similarly, in case you want to interact with your images, okay, so you can interact with your images as well. All right. So look at this. Let me open this image. So guys, you can see here, I have downloaded a random image from the Google for the electricity bill. And based on this image, I will be interact with Claude LLM models and I will be asked some necessary details. Okay. So how can I do that? So I'm not going to incorporate it in this app.py. So right now I am going to create a brand new file that is called image.py. Interesting. Now what I'm doing here for the image processing, I am going to import base 64 and yes. And from this app, I'm not going to import any additional library because this app is already created where I have import all the necessary library, whatever I need. So what I'm doing here, so let me go with image.py. So from this app file, I am going to import client and I am going to import model name and operating system module. All right. Now, what I'm doing here, I am going to create a function, let's say get completion, and here my messages. Simple. And now again, response I'm going to store. So the same thing I'm using. And you can use, some temperature as well in case you want, some variability. So although I'm going to set as a 0, but in case you want, you can set as well. Messages equal to messages. Simple. And now I am going to return response content 0 and their text. Okay. And guys, first of all, I am going to reading the image. Okay. And that image I will be encoded with the help of base64. So image equal to os.getcwd, right? This is my current working directory. And here, although let's say simple, right now I'm working in my already in the current working directory. So directly I can use here my, let's say bill.jpg, or maybe if you have PNG file as well. So with open image, and here in the binary format, I am going to open as image file. Okay. So image is nothing. This is just a binary data. So image file dot read. And now base 64 encoded data equal to base 64 and B64 encoded, 64 encoded. All right. And here I am passing my binary data. Interesting. And now base 64 is string equal to encoded data dot decode in the UTF-8 format. All right. And now once I have decoded successfully, and here I am going to create a messages. So the very first query, let me open the image. So for an example, guys, if I want to ask what is the consumer number, what is the name, what is the address, or maybe if I want to store this data into the JSON format, right? So whatever the query you want, so you can ask. So the very first query is what exactly is the consumer number I have? Okay. So this is my first query. And the second query, let's say I'm not asking any specific, I'm asking for entire image. So would you be able to extract useful details and save them into the JSON format. JSON format. Simple. And after that, guys, I am going to print a get. I'm going to calling my function. And here I am going to print my messages. Very simple. Okay. So simple here I have called my models and this is my response. And here I'm going to import my image and then I am using this particular stuff. Let me check what is the mistake here. Okay, now let me provide the comma here. Now let me run this. So guys, I'm not going to provide a web UI in case you want. So you can also incorporate it with the help of Chainlit. All right. So now I'm going to run this directly. So simple Python image.py. So guys, first of all, I have load the environment and here I am getting an error. Okay, image should be JPEG and PNG. So let me do one thing. Let me open this image. So guys, let me open this image in the MS Paint and save this particular file again in the form of PNG. Okay, let me save this here. All right. And let me do one thing. Here I am using PNG and we are using here as well, PNG. All right. Now let me save and let me rerun again. So we can provide only JPEG and the PNG image or GIF or WEBP, right? So now let me run once again. So we have loaded the environment file successfully. And guys, you can see here, the consumer number shown in this electricity bill is this. So can we match? So guys, you can see here 1706700500729. The same thing I am having here. And I can extract the useful details from the bill and present them in JSON format. And here is the extracted information. So you can see here the company information, billing unit, consumer number. This is the name, address, and lot of useful information details we can easily extract from here. All right. In case you are going to find out some specific information, so you can provide your query here and you will get that details easily. All right. So here we have performed lots of operation based on recently launched Claude 3.5 Sonnet LLM models. All right. So first of all, I have created a database where I have created the three tables and the database name was example.db. And here I have created the app.py where I have imported the necessary libraries. And here I'm going to import my model name. And you know very well how we can get the API key. And here I'm going to define the structure. And this is the model name. In case you want to increase or decrease the max token, so you can try with the same. And here I have defined, some schema kind of stuff. And here I'm interacting with my LLM models with the help of Chainlit UI. And apart from this, we have seen how we can interact with the image.py, where I have imported some specific image, JPEG, or PNG, or WEPB. These kind of images you can import, and you can ask anything based on those image, and you can extract any kind of information which is available on the images. I will be provide this particular code in the description below, whatever I am using here. And guys, one more thing you need to keep in mind. Right now, I am using a free API key, right? And if you are focusing on plans and billing, and first time you will get $5 where you can interact freely with this particular LLM models. All right. So you can also try Cloud LLM model based on your data set. And in case if you are finding any difficulties, please let me know in the comment. So for now, thanks for watching and have a great day.